Welcome back, YouTube family. It's your boy Sean Backus here yet again with another edition of Midweek Mojo. I hope everyone's week is going productive so far. I hope things are going well for you, and I'm excited to release this last video for the year. Yes, this will be the last edition of Midweek Mojo just for the year. Not completely, but only for the year. What I'm going to be doing personally is taking some time to reflect on some just things in my personal life and my professional life and really get myself geared and set up for 2017. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk to each and every one of you about today. It's so important to take time to just reflect, game plan, and strategize so that you can be efficient and effective. One of the mistakes I used to make so early on in life is just I would rush head on towards opportunities, and I kind of wouldn't take notice of, am I going in the right direction or not? So just because you're working doesn't necessarily mean that you're being productive. One of the worst things that you can do is to put all your heart, soul, strength, and energy into something, only to look up and realize that you're on the wrong road. So today we're going to talk about reflection. Now, many of us have heard the saying before that experience is the best teacher. And I do value experiences. I find that experiences are so important because they allow us to they create an opportunity for us to learn and grow. But here's where the issue comes into play now. You see, the thing about life is that it's so funny and it's so different from school. In school, you're given a lesson, you have time to learn the lesson, to digest it and break it down, and then you take the test to test your knowledge of the lesson. But life is the complete opposite. In life now, you have to take the test and then learn the lesson afterwards. And that's where the issue comes into play. Many of us are taking the same test over and over and over. We're experiencing a multitude of things, but we fail to walk away with the lesson and truly understand and learn something from the experiences that we have. So just because you've experienced something does not mean that you've necessarily learned from it. But the lesson is truly learned when after you experience it, you take time to evaluate it. You take time to analyze it. You take time to just pause and reflect on it. So experience is not necessarily the best teacher, but reflected experiences are the best teachers. You learn so much when you just take time to pause, when you take time to just stop from the hustle and bustle of life and just start evaluating your situations, start evaluating your circumstances. So many times I see some of us make the same mistakes in the same areas of life, and I've been guilty of it too. Let's talk about relationships. It's so easy to blame the other person that you may have been in a relationship with for breaking your heart. Maybe someone cheated on you, maybe they walked out of you, or they walked out of your life. And it's easy to point the finger at them, but I realized that there's always something that you could have done, and this is where the reflection really comes into play. Maybe you shouldn't have been in that relationship in the first place. Maybe if you would have took the time to pause, you would have seen some red flags about that person, and you would have known that there was something that just wasn't right. Maybe I shouldn't have entered that relationship. And I've seen that happen so many times before, where people get into the same toxic relationships over and over and over, and they always want to blame the other person, but you have to look within yourself. Take time, pause, and understand that if you're in the same toxic relationships over and over and over, you're the common denominator. So maybe there's something different that you need to do. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're the toxic person, but you have to take time to pause and ask yourself, what am I doing incorrectly? Why do I keep having the same experiences over and over and over, but I'm not learning from them? So just because you've had your heart broken before doesn't necessarily mean that after the heartbreak, you're going to be wiser and stronger. No. The knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, that discernment, it comes after you've taken time to reflect on what went wrong. After you take time to reflect and say, what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? What should I have not done at all? Reflection is going to allow that growth to catch up to you when you take time to just pause and stop. It allows you to let certain ideas just simmer in your mind. You give yourself time to just let those ideas incubate, let them grow, let life break down in your mind as you envision things, as you replay and rewind the instances of life backwards. It is so crucial that you take time to pause. I've heard a couple of people say so far that 2016 has been such a terrible year. It's been such a horrible year. So many bad things have happened. Instead of complaining about how bad the year has been, take time to reflect and pause. I believe I discussed this on a previous video, so I won't get into it too much. But many times those bad experiences are actually a setup for a blessing in the future. But because we don't take the time to reflect and really just analyze the experiences, we're so quick to label them as bad. I believe I got into this a little bit on the conference call that I had maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But for those of you who are on it, this might be a refresher. For those of you who did not get on the call, this is going to be something a little new. But I had got to a point in my life where I had to ask myself, Sean, what is going on? What is happening? Why are you taking all the right steps but getting all the wrong results? Life put me in a position where I had to take time to stop and reflect. I had to reflect and analyze my choices. I had to analyze my decision. I had to analyze my mindset and ask myself, is there something that I'm doing wrong? Is there something that I've allowed people to do to me that is wrong? Wherever you are in life right now, at the end of the day, whether it's your fault or you want to blame someone else for it, you need to pause. Take a moment, relax, and just process it. Just analyze it. Just break it down in your mind. Ask yourself, what did I do to get here? Is there anything that I could have done differently? Did I make any bad choices that got me here? And on the flip side, you can ask yourself the positive questions. What good things did I do to get me to where I am today? Are there some habits that I've created in 2016 that I need to take with me into 2017? Are there some habits or some mindsets or some people that I need to let go of from 2016 and create something new in 2017? I realize that with so many of us, year after year, we find ourselves wrestling with the same demons. We keep fighting the same struggles and fighting the same fight over and over and over. I want to tell you this. There are some things, some demons that you've been fighting with in 2016 that need to stay in 2016. You have about a week and a half, 2 weeks max, to take time to reflect, pause, analyze, do whatever you have to do to get yourself mentally prepared for 2017. There's some things within your mindset that are going to have to change for 2017. There are some habits that you have that are going to have to change for 2017. And there are some people that are in your life that are going to have to be let go for 2017. But overall, if you want to see a change from now to 2017, if you truly want 2017 to be your year, you yourself will have to change. Not your circumstances, not your relationship, not your friends, not your family, not your professor, not your boss or your coworkers. You yourself will have to change. But many times we don't know where to change. We don't know how to change. We don't know what to change. I can't specifically tell you what you need to change. You need to take time to search within yourself to figure out what it is that you need to change. One of the things that I had to change from 2015 to 2016 to get to where I am today is my organizational skills. My organizational skills were mediocre at best. I was not a very organized person. But I had to reflect and pause. See, me pausing was the perfect opportunity for me to realize that, Sean, it's not necessarily your work ethic that's the problem, but I was so disorganized that I was working all over the place. I wasn't good at focusing on one task at a time. So me taking time to reflect in 2015 showed me that you're doing the right things, but you're getting the wrong results. So I had to put my energy into one focal point. I had to focus on one specific thing instead of trying to do 1,000 things at one time. So what you need to change is going to be different from what I need to change. Maybe you need to change your communication skills. Maybe you have relational issues with friends and families and with your significant others because you have communication problems. Once again, I can't tell you what you need to change. Only you know what it is that you need to change. So I just want to encourage everyone to take time. I want you to make it a daily thing as well. Don't only do it for the coming of the new year, but take maybe 15 or 20 minutes at the end of every day or the beginning of the day or the middle of the day, wherever it works best for you. Take time to reflect on the experiences that you faced, the experiences that you're currently going through now as well. It is so crucial that you take the experiences that you're going through and learn the lessons from them. So once again, I have to say thank you to each and every person that continuously supports the channel. For those of you who have subscribed, those of you who share, like, comment, trust me, I feel the love. I love the feedback. And I definitely am going to take some time over these next 2 weeks to really increase the experience of this YouTube video. It's definitely going to come back new, better, and just so much better for each and every one of you. So I want to thank you for your continued support. For those of you who have not done so, you need to subscribe to the channel now. Continue to like, comment, share, and I can't wait to see each and every one of you next year in 2017. So I hope that everyone enjoys the holidays, and I hope that everyone has a happy new year. I'll see you guys in 2017. Take care, guys.